This morning with a live look at the roads in Tyler. It's an icy morning in East Texas. I mean, just go ahead and take a look at those roads right now. Now, thankfully, lots of people are taking it slow out there as we deal with an Arctic blast that's impacting not just us, but the entire state. And good morning, and thank you for joining us here on Morning Y'all. I'm William Johnson, here with our weather experts, Sarah Blue and Savannah Hale, and I know you both are tracking it, and we have a lot to get to this morning because the state power grid is really urging Texans to conserve energy this morning. There are also changes to city services across East Texas you'll need to know about. And, Sarah and Savannah, I know you guys are really taking a look at this. What is this we're seeing right now on the radar?
Well, we're tracking lots of winter precipitation right now, William. We're tracking snow, well, not snow, that's the areas north of the Red River. We're tracking sleet and freezing rain across East Texas. Because of that, we have lots of winter weather advisories and warnings in place. So areas up to the north, we're tracking more of a sleet area for things that you're seeing in the blue here. This is coming down at a rather low rate, but that is just going to continue to build upon everything that we have already seen yesterday and in the overnight hours. That's going to continue to track up to the northeast. However, we will have more on the way throughout the rest of the day today. To areas out to the south, we're seeing more freezing rain to areas in the purple, but still that is going to add to the ice that is already on the roads. Here's a look at your future cast. We're going to see that become more intense between that sleet and freezing rain. That's for what you can see in the salmon color right there. And that's going to continue with us all the way through the morning. This is a look just after 6 a.m. Heavier amounts out toward Linden and Jefferson, and it's stretching all the way back toward Crockett. We won't see a break in the winter precipitation until maybe 9 or 10 when that starts to move toward areas south of I-20. I-30 looks like it's in the clear right now. However, we're still going to see lots of winter precipitation on those roadways. We won't start to see clearing for most of our area. Nacogdoches and Lufkin still seeing that winter precipitation through the afternoon. We finally start to see it clear out closer to 5 tonight. However, that's dumping a lot of ice and sleet on our roadways, so you want to stay off the roads as much as possible. In addition to what we have already received in the overnight hours, we'll get more out toward Marshall, Carthage. We're going to pick up close to 1.5 inches there, so that is enough to cause some hazardous driving conditions and definitely impact your travel. We have a couple winter weather alerts, a winter weather advisory that goes all the way through 6 p.m. tonight for areas in the purple, and then a winter storm warning for areas in the pink again through 6 p.m. So it means it's going to be a little bit more intense to areas in the pink. This is a look from the Weather Prediction Center. It's our Winter Storm Severity Index. We're tracking, it looks like minor impacts across most of East Texas, but still that is enough to impact you and you want to stay inside. However, the bulk of the impacts will be up to the northeast. If you're stepping outside right now, temperatures are very chilly. 20 degrees in Tyler, teens for Gilmer and in Mineola. We'll be warming up only ever so slightly today. Still in the teens through 6 a.m., warming up to the 20s around 9. We will not break out of the 20s today. But we have some winds in the forecast, so it's going to feel even colder. This is a look at what it'll feel like right now. It's going to be feeling 7 degrees in Mineola, feeling 2 in Emory. We're going to keep that wind chill in the forecast all the way through the morning, feeling in the teens at 9. This is a look at noon, feeling again in the teens. And by the time we get to the afternoon, we're still feeling in the teens. However, air temperatures are warming up to the upper 20s in the Rose City and in Jacksonville. It'll warm up to freezing in Mount Pleasant, in the 20s for Nacogdoches and in Lufkin. Tonight, we're dropping down to the teens. It'll be 15 degrees in Tyler and in Mineola, and we're going to keep that chilly weather in the forecast. So be sure that you are protecting the 4 Ps as we get through the next several days, because it's going to be very chilly. We're tracking sleet and freezing rain over the next several days. We're going to also see some wind gusts. We'll stay below freezing until Wednesday, when we finally warm our temperatures back to the 40s, but we'll really warm up on Thursday up to the 50s. However, we have another round of cold air coming in over the weekend. And Savannah, when we were getting some looks outside earlier, we were seeing lots of hazardous conditions on the roadways. Kind of what are we seeing out there?
Yeah, kind of still the same thing. So definitely we saw a lot of sleet falling this morning like you were talking about. Very cold out. I'm actually going to give you a look at what we were seeing outside our studio this morning. Here's a video that our news director took. You can see lots of ice on the parking lot as well as the cars. In just a second, you'll see an up close. There's a picture of that sleet falling falling, just those little marbles of sleet. So this kind of sounded like hail earlier this morning on our studio roof. Here's our look at our car windshields, once again covered in ice. If you're headed out this morning, it's definitely going to take a while for that to defrost, but definitely, like I was saying, just a lot to be aware of as you're going out. Here's a look at it falling. You can see just looking like it's almost foggy out there because so much of that was falling at one time. So lots of ice falling this morning. So what we're going to talk about now is just the different kinds of precipitation that we were seeing. So freezing rain, this is when snowflakes fall through a warm layer and they melt almost till when they hit the ground. And when they hit the ground, since they're super cooled, they actually start to unfreeze. So thankfully, that is what we are seeing less of now. But I will say we also are seeing just a little bit of sleet as well. And that is what we were seeing outside today. Now, it does look like we're not seeing so much of any snow in the area. So no snow, thankfully. That is what is actually, snowflakes just fall from the sky and they're not freezing or anything. When we're seeing sleet, they fall through the sky, they unfreeze just a little bit and then freeze once again before they hit the ground. So that's what we're seeing outside today, but we will take more looks outside at our live cameras, as well as I'll have more updates on the roads coming up in just a few minutes, and Sarah will have more on the forecast as well.